What is up, YouTube? This is going to be a character update part 2 of 2. Oh, and I almost forgot. It's Kingfisher 745, and we're about to get into the video. In this video, we're going to be showing Cable and Deadpool. But first, let's take a look at some more Cable in action with another Paragon exploiter, Captain Britain. It looks like we're going to be facing a modern Thor, a generalist agent, and an Ares team. Their agent also looks like he has the Phoenix Flare, so this could be a pretty high-powered offense. So we decided to start out with a temporal shift on Captain Britain, and then a smashing, because they're all grounded targets and he may stun them all. And it looks like we got 2 of 3, so that's pretty good. Next, we're just going to look through Cable's abilities, which we have a habit of doing. I think it's because he has so many options now, and really none of them are bad. At first we thought about using his level 6 and getting pressure points of some of those debuffs on the enemies. But instead, we're going to place Flanked on their agent. I figured since Thor and Ares are both stunned, we can go ahead and try to put Flanked on their agent and do as much damage as possible. With Captain Britain, we're going to use a Britannic on their agent. And then he's going to follow that up with a level 1. Since we crit for 28k, we should easily finish him with the right as might. So now we don't have to worry about their agent or that Phoenix Flare. With our agent, we will use the Protector of Attilan. And then we'll go ahead and use our scroll. And the reason we're going to use that is to remove the buffs from Thor. So now we don't have to worry about a super big Summon Thunder coming our way. Next we're going to hit Thor with the Guardian Mace. So let's go ahead and use the Guardian of Attilan. And that'll put a shield on us as well. The mace does pretty good damage, especially for a non-crit. It does 27k and puts a shield of over 9k on our agent. Now we could finish Thor off, and really that would be the safest move. But at this point I really wasn't worried about losing the match, and I wanted to set up a big hit on Ares. So what we're going to do is we're going to use that Techno-Organic Rampage, which has pressure points, to hit Ares. And there you see he gets weakened, exposed, dizzy, slowed, all at the same time. So it's pretty amazing for fellow Paragon exploiters. And that's just another reason that I love Cable right now. On Captain Britain's turn, we're going to use Britannic, most likely on that Ares. So let's see how much damage we can do to him. It looks like it'll be plenty enough damage to finish their Ares off. But let's also look at Thor and just see what debuffs he has. So we target Ares, but we did get hit with 10,000 yard stare. That lowers our damage significantly. So that bummed us out pretty much right there, because we really like to see those big numbers. On top of that, Ares is still alive. The good news is we did proc Curse of the Otherworld, so we're going to get an extra turn. With the extra turn, we're going to actually hit Thor instead. We decide to use Save the Queen just because if we don't kill him, we'll at least lower his defense. It actually does quite a bit of damage, a lot more than we expected. With our agent, we're free to finish Ares, and that's going to be the end of the first battle. Now this second battle is going to be a very long one, but a very epic battle as well. We're coming up against a Thane and Ares team. And what we want to do is go ahead and use Temporal Shift on Deadpool. That way we can give him an extra turn and help him gain all of his buffs, such as OP, Imba, Totally Broken, etc. This also gives us an opportunity to look at all of his updates. Firstly, as far as his passive abilities, his healing factor gives him a chance to survive if health is reduced below 0. Secondly, his laptop now nerfs enemies more, likes things less often, but Buggy no longer has a chance to give extra turns. Now moving on to his regular abilities, his level 1 Sharp Pointy Things now says that OP lasts 4 rounds and can't be removed. This is a very welcome update, and he really needed this. That way you can go ahead and build him up and get him to do his maximum damage. Next, his level 2 Bang 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 now has rebuff buffs and applies buff blocker if he's OP. So it removes beneficial status effects from the target and prevents new applications. Also, Imba lasts 4 rounds and can't be removed. His level 6 No Holds Barred now has lots of red boxes, so it applies Weakened, Exposed, Slowed, Dizzy, and combo setup to enemies, but only if Deadpool is Imba. and Totally Broken now lasts 4 rounds and can't be removed. And lastly, his really big hitting move, Happy to See You, has Face Melter if OP, which means it now gains a guaranteed crit. If Deadpool has Imba, he gains Like a Ninja, which makes this attack stealthy and have True Strike. And lastly, if he has Totally Broken, he gains Exploitation, which says he gains Paragon Exploiter, Exploit Attrition, Exploit Opportunity, and Exploit Exploitation, exploiting everything exploitable for fun and profit. And lastly, Heroic Feats grants Super Heroic, but only if he's a level 16 Ranger. But basically what all that text means is his last ability does a ton of damage now. What we're going to do though with his turn is start out with Bang Bang Bang. And that's because we're hitting an Infiltrator, so we'll also do his level 1. So now he has Imba and OP on his very first attack. On Cable's turn, we're going to use Body Slide. And that's to give him mirror images and also hopefully place Distracted on all the opponents. Unfortunately for us, Ares does proc 10,000 Yard Stare, which is going to lower our damage dramatically. Then on top of that, we do have to worry about Ares, because we do have a Scrapper on our team. We expect him to go ahead and focus Deadpool, but we're hoping that he doesn't kill him too fast. Ares is going to start out with his quick action ability, Personal War, and he does target Deadpool with that, but we dodge all of the attacks. Next, Ares is going to use Crush Your Enemies, so he has a good chance to stun all of our team, and he does get our agent and Deadpool. That level 9 is so powerful, and right now it seems to be stunning almost every time. The good news is Deadpool uses lead hacking skills and placed Buggy on Ares, so that should hopefully stun Ares on his next turn, and that should help us out quite a bit. But still, he's able to do an Art of War and join in on their agent's attack. So our agent's almost dead, and he hasn't even got a turn yet. Now after a life and death, our agent is dead, and Thane also healed some of their team's health back. So at this point, this battle's looking pretty bleak for my team. For Cable's next attack, we're going to switch over to his other abilities, and then what we're going to try is his Telekinetic Slam. So we're hoping to stun all the enemies. It only has a 40% chance to stun, but you never know with the crazy proc rates that are going on right now. Like with that 10,000 Yard Stare, that's the second or third time we got hit with that already this match. And there you see that 40% stun stuns 2 out of 3. So that's a pretty good turnout. On Deadpool's turn, we need to use No Holds Barred. That way we can give them Totally Broken. And it looks like we're going to have to hit their agent. Of course, another 10,000 Yard Stare takes place, so we're going to do a lot less damage with it. And we're not even able to break the shield. So at this point in the match, I really was thinking we're going to lose. And it's not even necessarily the team, it's just a crazy amount of procs that are going on. And the fact that our agent didn't even get a turn. Their agent is stunned though, and he will have to pass his turn. Next, Thane's going to use Black Hand on Cable. So that gives him Nano Plague and Despair. Then Deadpool uses his lead hacking skills once again, and that's going to force a refresh on Thane. So that was a pretty amazing proc, and it definitely came at a really good time. Now Cable's Temporal Shift will be back up, and we're going to use that on Deadpool. So let's go ahead and give him an extra turn. And with that extra turn, we're finally going to use that level 9 ability on their agent. So let's look at how much damage this thing can do. Happy to See You does 3 hits, and each of them do over 64,000 damage each. Then you see him say level up, so he's now a level 16 Ranger. With Cable, we have a ton of options, but we're going to go back to Body Slide. And that's to basically help him keep alive, and also to hopefully place distraction on the enemies. Now, I'm not saying it's the best idea to go ahead and keep using Body Slide. In fact, at times I wish I would have put Flanked on the opponents instead. But really, that's one of the great things about Cable. The fact that he has so many abilities, and so many different ways to play him. You can pretty much do a different battle with him every time. And I guess that's why I like him so much. Because with certain characters I got so used to using them, and I'm talking about Phoenix for one, that you pretty much just do the same exact thing every single battle. and it gets really old and boring. Now with Deadpool we use No Holds Barred on Thane. That does a decent amount of damage, but we do get hit with the War Never Changes proc. So Ares is going to hit Deadpool with his level 1, and that almost finishes him off. He has 438 health left. Thane chooses to use his Amber Field, which kind of has me question the AI use of Thane. Because another example is the fact that he uses level 9 when he still had a lot of health left. I'm telling you right now, Thane's level 9 can clear an entire team. The lower he is in health, the more damage it'll do. And I've seen it take people from 100% to 0. Now on Cable's turn, I do think it's about time to put Flanked on one of these enemies. So we're going to switch over to his first set of abilities, and then we're going to use his level 6, Ascani Arts. So his level 6 ignores defense, it has high crits, it's going to place Flanked on the enemy, and then it's also going to place Targeted, so the next hit should be pretty awesome, and we're also going to get a follow-up attack. And yes, I was carefully weighing all my options right there, so it did take quite a while to go ahead and select Ascani Arts. But at this point it's still looking pretty bleak for my team, especially since Ares is going to get a turn, and he's going to kill Deadpool. So it's up to Cable to go ahead and finish both of these opponents by himself, and he has Nano Plague, and he also could have got stunned, but luckily wasn't. And there goes Thane's AI once again using Amberfield, so that kind of helped us out a lot in this battle. And if you're using Thane on defense, you may want to reconsider. Cable was able to give himself an extra turn with Temporal Shift, so now we get to attack twice. First we're going to use Techno-Organic Rampage on Ares. Due to Flanked we're going to get a follow-up attack, and we use Psionic Spikes to finish Ares off. Next we're going to use the same exact ability on Thane. So let's go ahead and hit him with that level 6 Techno-Organic Rampage, and we're hoping that it hits because it should be enough to finish him off. So there you have it, showing a little bit more about Cable, and also what Deadpool was capable of. He did have a hit that totaled about 190k damage. And that's going to be it for part 2 of 2. I hope you enjoyed the videos. Next up should be a Black Bolt review, so please stay tuned for that. Lastly, I want to thank you all for watching, and ask you to please like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more videos.